This is Irontrader, and this is Midday Trading. So we'll take a look here at Bitcoin, crude oil, and natural gas. And we're going to stick with the old energy theme today here. We're going to look at the XLE, which is the big oil ETF. Okay, this video is for information purposes only, not recommended to buy selling stock market ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Okay, here we have the XLE. Now, before we get started, the EIA report came out, and it was nice, good draws all the way across the board. I mean, you talk about in crude, in distillates, in gasoline, and in Cushing. So looking very, very good here. Now, remember, seasonality is in play here for crude oil going into summer driving. So always take that in consideration. We'll look at a chart here in a little bit. Okay, here we have the XLE. Now, this is one of my favorite trades because it has everything in it. You got Chevron, Exxon, Mobil, you name it, Schlumberger, you name it, it's in here. Plus, it pays about a 3.5% dividend, which is, always nice. Okay, so you can see here where we were finding this bottom situation here, and then we made a nice higher low here, which is always good. And now look at this 8-day. You're above everything, and we are just, vertically up. Very, very nice. Now, today's high, we had high at 94.82 level, okay? So what we're looking for here next is we're always looking at that 94.21, which is right over here, kind of like a double top situation going on over there. But now what we're doing is we're going to start looking at these targets here. So what we're really looking for here is going to be this 97.85 level, and then we can come all the way up here to this 98.97 level. Now, if you look at this chart here overall in the big picture here, really around that 98.97 level, that's really where she's kind of like maxing out here, or has been, I should say, okay? But that doesn't mean that once you blow through this area, okay, you can go to 100-day and you can start climbing 105, 110 very, very easily. So always keep that in mind here, okay? So what we're watching here, like on a downside, is we're watching this level right here, okay? So you're looking at that 94.29 level, and then we can just start coming all the way down here, okay? So what we have here is you got this 93.48. We'll come over there at 93.02, and then we're looking for this 92.67. That is your 8-day. But look how nice this is. Now, if that 8-day is lost here, look at the pile of support here. I mean, this is a pile of it. You got the 100-day, the 50-day, the 200-day. Everything is jammed up right around that 90 area, okay? And then right below it is we have that 21-day sitting at that 89.77. So just look at that 90 area. Is going to be very, very big support if that 8-day is lost. But again, this has a nice, good rally up. But you also got to be a little careful here because if you look at these patterns, okay, where you had to sell off, then it just rallies right up straight here, just like what we're doing now, okay? But if you look at it here, see how low that we got? We made this higher low kind of a situation. But you never know when it's going to top out here, so we got to see how this all going to shake out. Now, we look here at your RSI. You're sitting at 65. You still got room to run. This is just showing that it's got a lot of good strength. And your MACD, your green over your red. But you can move this much, much higher, okay? So I'm a long-termer of this. I always buy the XLE, the UGA, that's for the gasoline, okay? I buy CRK, that's Comstock Resources. So there's always a lot of good stuff here going into summer driving. So always look at these seasonality charts. You can go on my playlist or you can go to equityclock.com. Everything is right there for you. You punch up any seasonality on anything that you want. So for today, what we're watching is we're going to be watching at today's high, that 94.82 level, okay? Now, if we get above all that, then we're going to come right to this price channel. You're looking at right there. You're looking at that 93 level, and then we're going to come up here. We'll be looking for that 97.85 level. That's what we're looking for there on the upside. Then obviously that 98.97. On the downside here, as long as we hold this 8-day at that 92.67, this is still very, very positive and bullish. It looks like it wants to just go higher because we have plenty of room to run. So if you want to trade like a sweet basket of all the big oil companies, this is it right here, the XLE. Okay, take a look here now at Bitcoin. Okay, here we have Bitcoin, your daily and your weekly. Now, you can see here we have this rising channel, okay? And it's still very, very much intact. Just because you got a couple red candles, no big deal. Look at here, couple red candles, no big deal, okay? Long as we hold these key levels, okay? So downside, as long as we hold this 85,425, and we have that 85,165, this is still very, very golden, okay? No question. We start losing that, then we're going to come to the bottom of this candle here, looking at 83,665, and then we come down here at 83,140, and then we just follow the candles down, 82,075. We have 81,120. We come down here at 87.60. We'll come there at 80.40, and then we have your big retest down here is your 200-day, 77.859, and then obviously your recent low at 76.735, which is basically just the bottom of that candle. Okay, but we're uptrending here, very, very nice here, and just because you had a couple days sideways, just like the market, we had this big run, and now we have a little sell-off, no big deal. Okay, so upside here, what we want to watch is so far we have this, what do we call it, inside day, your high and lows inside the previous day. So we want to watch yesterday's high, that's 88.595. Then we want to watch the top of this candle here at 85.135 level. And then we want to watch the top of there at 89.380. And then we're looking for that 100-day, 93.095, and that 50-day. Now, what I want to show you here, though, is on this weekly chart. Okay, this is why I want to bring this up. Got to say this 8 day. So every time I showed you this here, pretty much every day, at least I try to, and watch that 8 day, okay? That's at 89.498, okay? That's going to be very, very key, okay? Because right now the price is below that 8 day. You have to get and close above that 8 day because that could provide huge, huge resistance level and bring this price right on down. Now, you notice how this 50 day, how nice it held right here, okay? Holding, okay? And held up nicely on the 50 day. So again, if this does sell off, we really want to watch that 50-day. If it gets all the way down there, that's going to be the key level. But the upside here, let's just watch this 89.499. Very, very key level, okay? So what you're trading against here is if we can hold this 8 day here on the daily and that 21 day, this could be a nice, good, another buying opportunity here to take this longer. If we start losing this, well, then that's a whole different thing. Then we just ratchet it all the way on down. But again, we have to get above this thing, this top of this candle here, that 88.865, and we have to get above this 89.499. That is going to be very, very crucial and provide huge, huge resistance level. Now, easy way I trade this, I say this over and over, IBIT for the long, BITI for the short, works very, very nicely. Okay, let's take a look here now at crude oil and natural gas. Okay, here we have the crude oil working very, very nicely. I'm still long UCO basically because of very simple reason is we had this double bottom, okay? We put in a low, 65.22, and then we put in that higher low of 65.29, tells me the short is gone, long is on, okay? Now, as long as we hold this 8 day and that 21 day, we're looking very, very nicely, okay? So you can see here, today's high was 70.22 level. We're just go to the left of the chart here. You're looking at 70.29, okay? So you came in within 7 cents so far, okay? Now, your next level is going to be right on top there is 70.54, and then we're looking right for this 100-day at 70.67. That's going to be your big target, and then right above it, we have that 71.01. So now what we're waiting for and we're looking for is see what the reaction is what happens when it gets to this 100-day, okay? Does it blast through and hit the 50-day and possibly go up to the 200-day, or does it reject it and come right on down? Okay, so we just look always to the past. So you look at this 21-day, how it rejected it all the way through here, okay, all the way on down until we got above it. So this is going to be big time resistance when we hit that 100-day at 70.66. And if we can get up to that 71.01, that would be very, very strong. So we have to see what the reaction is. Now, if it gets there, bounces back and comes right back down, but holds this 8 day, that's another good buying opportunity situation. So we have to see, because we can have a nice, good possible short going on here. If, it can't get through this, we could short it down till at least to that 8 day, and then we can see what the reaction is once it gets there. Now, you're sitting only at 56. You got plenty of room to run here. The green over your red looking very, very nice. So this is a nice, good bullish trend from that double bottom situation. Okay. Natural gas, well, you're hanging right around that 50 SMA here. I said always respect that 50-day because of this candle, and these two candles right here. Now, we have what they call an indecision candle, and you're hanging right around that 50. So we have an inside day here. So we will look at today's low for downside, 3.81. We look at yesterday's low, 3.79. And then here's what we're looking for is that 3.74 target, which is basically the bottom of that candle. If that's lost, we're going to come right here to the 100-day. At that 3.56, and then 3.55 is that bottom of that candle. Okay, upside, well, you can see here, charged right into the 8 day, couldn't get above. This is why you trade the charts. Okay, so this is your big time resistance at that 398. Right above it is 410. We get above that, we come here 421, and then we have 425. That's going to be your resistance area, but watch that 8 day, the 21 day on the upside, and watch this 50 day. We're hanging right around there. But we have not really lost it yet, okay? So we're just kind of hanging right there. But if it is lost, then we look to this price channel, and then we look to our 100-day. Now, this is telling us nothing. This basically telling us that this is, to the downside. Momentum is to the downside. Same way with the old RSI. There's nothing here. We had that topping tail. We had the negative divergence. Those were two tells that says we got to come right on down. So for me, I just trade natural gas. With the crude oil, I'm long. Simple reason, we put a double bottom here, and I'm just waiting for what the reaction is going to be at the 100-day, and if it get to that 50-day. That's all I'm waiting for, okay? Now, again, if it comes down and holds this area, good buying opportunity here. Take it right back up. But remember, seasonality is in play for the old crude oil. Okay, that's what I got for you. I'll be back here after the pit close, and we'll take a look at Bitcoin, crude oil, natural gas, and then we throw something else in the old mix. Now, if you look at the NASDAQ, we're down about 280. S&P down 44, and then the Dow's out 24. So we had a really nice, good relief rally. That's what we had here, okay? So just take that into context, okay? So, the selling is done, this is done. No, we had a relief rally. Now we got to see where we're going to come down to retest. But we have these big red candles today, so don't get too excited here. We got to see how this is all going to shake out. All right, trade what's in front of you, not what you want.